Okay, that's looking a little better. It's a little bit better. Hello, everyone. We've now got our audio back working right. We've got our stovetop camera back. You get to check in twice because it was 2 streams. Hello, Cosmic. Hello, Zeeks. Hello, Buns. Bye-bye autofocus. Hey, my head's getting cut off. It's still dripping pretty good. I'm gonna give that another moment. No need to rush that. Do we, chat? I mean, I didn't exactly have a quick start to stream tonight, but Does that mean we have to rush? That's what Bun says. Really, does that count as dessert, Zeke? Does that count as dinner and dessert? Every course and every meal. You know, I probably could turn grilled cheese into a pretty good dessert. Oh, you want to go to Monte Cristo route, huh? I don't think you even need to go that far. I might want to add a little apple or maybe like quince paste. Cheers, folks. Welcome in. Yeah, cinnamon raisin bread, that's in the ballpark. I was thinking brioche. Alright, what are we starting with here tonight? Actually, I know what we're starting with here tonight. I just don't know. Cheesecake grilled cheese? No. I'd rather fry grilled cheese. I'd rather fry cheesecake. I don't know if I like the idea of going Monte Cristo route with a grilled cheese either, because like it's the grilled outside of it, that crunch from the grill, that's such a great part of it. And you're just gonna soak that and turn that soggy. I mean, yeah, it's gonna fry up and be crispy once again, but I don't see the ad. Thinking about it. So I started the oven up to 350. I'm going to be having this recipe. I'm actually going to be following a recipe straight from Campbell's. Oh yeah, I love Monte Cristos, and I'm not saying a fried sandwich isn't going to be glorious, but I sort of feel like grilled cheese You're not at, like, you already got the crunch there. You see a bowl in front of yourself, you gotta spin it. Nice. That's something I should have had ready earlier. I knew I was doing something cake-like. I knew I should have had softened butter out. I mean, it's just standard with creamed sugar recipes, creaming method recipes. Yeah, we're gonna give that a little bit of a microwave. Hold on. Twinkie, I'm not 100% on. I've certainly had a Snickers and or a Mars bar, maybe both. And I've done Oreos on stream. Don't worry about leaking in my fridge. I've got it standing up so that it... I mean, it's butter. How much sugar am I creaming? Ooh, I got a poll for chat. You want to start a poll, Buns? Is that something you'd be interested in doing for me? Blue, yellow, purple, pink, or white? For a repeat, that's blue, yellow, purple, pink, or white. Awesome. Awesome. Yep. Five minutes works great. We just want to let chat have the chance to choose. And in case you're wondering what you're choosing, it's the color of the cupcake mold. Or the cupcake paper. Alright, now that we got our butter and sugar well combined here, switching to a whisk right now would probably be more efficient. Blue with maybe reddish cupcakes? Okay. That was a little vanilla. My non-existent fingernails. Hey! Everyone gets an extra 50 sprinkles there, too. Isn't it fun when We have technical issues and I have to restart. So here's our tomato soup in the raw. Adding approximately half of this can. That was more than half this can. That was closer to 3/4 of that can. Is our oven coming to 350? I'm almost as excited for the frosting with dessert tonight. We'll just get those out to defrost / warm up. Congrats, Will. I missed the results of the... I can look it up. What was the results of the poll chat? Blue running away with it, okay. Okay. You'll take note, I'm using half a can of tomato soup because I'm doing a half recipe. This recipe was scaled for 1 can of tomato soup. This is still supposed to give me, I think, 16 cupcakes. Ground cinnamon. Nice, Cosmic. Congrats. Okay, dad joke, you got me with that one. So we got our cinnamon and spice in there. Ooh, let's do a little clove in there too. I got a little thingy of probably dying in potency clove. And of course, we want to add a little bit of salt. What else am I missing here? Am I missing anything else other than flour? Yes, we can go with that. Take that back. This is supposed to be 12. Fold in our I feel like this might be a good Halloween recipe. Because I suspect it's one of those ones where a lot of things where you bake, you get the nice brown crusty exterior and you don't notice that they're colored. Actually, it works for most colors, so regardless of color, really. You don't notice the color until you break into it. Like, I've made a whole bunch of different colored breads over the years with all sorts of things from cereals to probably candy. I don't know what else, but I've done all sorts of colored breads or breads that have taken on colors from things I've added into them, and very often it doesn't turn out looking. I expect these to be sort of like nice and brown, like you would expect a baked good to be, not something that's as red as that is right now. And that is looking a little washed out. Get it closer, it's a little closer. Of course, chat picks the color that's on bottom. all your fault, chat. I'm going to trust the non-stick ability of this pan. Whatever this is coated with. I have several pans that have coated in the same sort of surface. And I'm not going to say that it's got high durability. Actually, most of them are cheap ones that I'm not really treating very well to begin with. But they have been pretty nicely non-stick. Like, I haven't tried them with eggs. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should go out and get them for omelet pans. I'm not even sure what it is, so I can't even tell you what it is. Bouillon. What is better than bouillon? I mean, I know it's a brand name here in the United States for bouillon, but what is better than bouillon? I was sitting here like, no way this is filling 12. And now I'm like, oh, I minorly overfilled these maybe. Yeah, we might have one that's a little short. Alright, so I'm going to throw these in the oven here for how long? How long is our bake time? How long? 20 minutos. If it gets slow, remind me that I have this, chat. We end up waiting on something. I know, it's slow already. Just anticipating what every chef I've ever had would have said. What's taking you so damn long? They wouldn't have been as polite about it. Distracted by bullion. Hey, John. Using the cool clip knife. I cannot use or see this product without thinking of Family Guy anymore. I know Family Guy is like old for Twitch demographic, but the hip. Oh, this isn't the recipe. I was reading it all. The Campbell's recipe. That frosting isn't nearly as interesting as the frosting that I'm about to make. It's been a while since I've had this stuff. Aerated oil. yeah, that's basically it for me too. And it's been a minute since I've had a Thanksgiving that wasn't on stream. No, stop spilling. I'm trying to get the cream cheese smooth into this before I take the next step with this, which is not going to make it smoother. This is definitely a recipe for someone with a stand mixer. In fact, other than sugar content, I don't know why I'm bothering with the third ingredient. We'll get to the Bloody Marys. Marys. Right now I'm only planning a Bloody Mary, but who knows what the night may bring. Certainly not going to bring more redstone. I am so frustrated over... I wasted 2 hours on redstone on stream today. I spent the entire time trying to build stuff and just got nowhere. I mean, I improved my knowledge of the situation greatly. But towards the end of the stream, I got frustrated and just tore the whole thing down. And was like, okay, we'll come back at this some other day. What frustrated me the most was the way it broke the last time. I didn't really show it very clearly to chat when it happened. But flying machines, I've been having issues. I think it's the timing or something with this being on a server. They just don't work half the time. And so, like, my sugarcane farm keeps breaking. I would assume my kelp farm would be dying too, if not for it being only used when I'm right there. It's like I click it, it runs once, and then it stops. I don't know if this probably doesn't need refrigeration, but yeah, does not require refrigeration. It's nothing but sugar. Just to be honest with chat, I actually have the icing recipe here too. It's not like I made a half batch of cupcakes and this is this is the frosting they intend me to use on 12 cupcakes. Well, like 11 and a half cupcakes, really. What was that? That was my earbud. No, Cosmic, I'll get it started here in a moment. I apologize, folks. My earbud. Yeah. Buns has got the description there of what's going on here. Apparently, frosting is conductive enough that it thought it was my finger turning it off. I don't know. Or maybe I did that trying to clean it, or I don't know. Okay, meatloaf time. I feel like I should have, you know, some song by Meatloaf ready for this. But DMCA. But yeah. It's like one of the top dad jokes there is in the food world. Like every time someone mentions Meatloaf, they're like, "Oh, the singer?" Anything but that. So now the question is, now let's just see how much I end up with when it comes to our mixture. Like, I'm trying to do a small meatloaf here, folks. I'm hoping that I can find some system here that doesn't involve a whole loaf pan of meatloaf tonight. I don't mind meatloaf myself. It's just, you know, we got more food on Friday. I was almost half planning to throw it in a piece of pita tonight. I still have all the pita, the nice slices of pita bread. I went through all the slice stuff that I did, but I still have 4, like full-size pitas. I was actually sort of sitting here debating, or right as stream was starting up, is it an open-faced sandwich if you serve it on pita? Like, do you have to serve, you know, like, do you have to take the pita and, like, have it and then put it on and then it's open-faced, or... New Wednesday theme. Will it burrito? Is a pita a sandwich? It's probably about right for what I want to do. Meh. I guess we're going big on our meatloaf. Actually. I forgot to set a timer for our cupcakes. $8:28 Eastern. That means they're almost 5 minutes over at this point. They didn't look 5 minutes over. They have enough spring. Normally you can throw the celery in at the same time as the onion. I cut up the celery a bit smaller, so I'm giving the onion a bit more time first. Not sure where I saw it. I just felt so sorry for a cat. And I saw it had obviously not been declawed, but the claws have been made useless. Like, they weren't sharp whatsoever anymore. But he very obviously still had, like, it wasn't like they had removed the claws, like they, removed them from, in some cases. But the cat was very obviously, like, frustrated, annoyed, absolutely, like, it was not playing along. It was not having a fun time. And the owner, because it knew cat couldn't do anything, just kept going with it. The plan was not to get onion on my tomato soup cupcakes. So I'm liking how these turned out, other than this one here, but hey. Even that one small amount didn't burn on the bottom. if only to wake them up a little bit. I'm gonna add some granulated onion to our cooked onion if it doesn't want to be a solid brick of seasoning. There we go. Garlic. Ginger. Pepper. Lastly, cayenne. And heat's off now. Inside it too. Tomato soup. Out of focus. Onions. I thought I already configured that. Did I do that before the reboot? Diaper time. No Liguria fans out there? Especially since that is so outdated now, and dating sites seem to be mostly just out to get your money these days. Oh yeah, too. That too. Yeah. I'm a little old for it now at this point, but I'm collecting things for a survey for college class or high school class, or those are fun too. But now you've got sophisticated people using sophisticated chatbots to lure people into giving them information, and which also makes it so, like, you find someone amazing online and you don't even really want to open up to them because of the likelihood that they're a bot. And I'm just going to use these up because I'm not going to use these otherwise. But we're going to throw in some real crumbled bacon. And make sure I don't get one of those seasoning packets in there. No one got my seasoning packet joke. I was referring to the silica packets you often find in dried meat packages. I was like, maybe I'll do half the meat. I'll do a half-pound version of meatloaf, and I'll put it in a smaller pan. And here we are. Save that for garnish. This is going to be our last mix up of the meat, so salt, other salt, pepper, Tabasco. Choose one that's looking a little, I guess they're all looking a bit ugly. I'm going to do a little sanding on this one. Current Jason is disliking past Jason right now. Alright, that was the bottom and one side. Only 3 more sides to go. Wearing away some metal here, chat. It doesn't really show up well on camera. The dark caked on look you get from metal particles getting in your scrub. They're really fun to get out of clothes too. You got to go for the, if you want to get those chef whites back, you got to go for the special soak. You got to have, you get into the recipes for what you do for your whites. The one I used to do was Cascade, OxyClean. Was that the only two things that I put? I sort of feel like there was a third. The one that I hear tossed around the most these days is powdered laundry detergent, borax, and baking powder. Baking soda, not baking powder. Soda giving you some bubbling, some action, some cleaning assistance. But maybe you can't find borax. It's not exactly a friendly product to have unless you like, I don't know, torturing ants. I feel like I somehow turned that oven off, and it looks like I did too. exactly what I want to smear it all over this board. Now this is most certainly not my normal recipe for making meatloaf, by the way, here, chat. This is not, my meatloaf made with Campbell's. It's a drastically different recipe. That's because my meatloaf recipe isn't exactly the normal meatloaf recipe either. I'll typically do ketchup with it, but I won't typically put near as much liquid in the actual meatloaf. What I would do instead of that is I will use actual whole pieces of tomato, like I'll use chopped or diced tomato in there. Preferably not the canned ones that don't break down at all, like actual tomatoes that break down with heat. But the actual structure of the tomatoes, I think, helps much better with the hydration of the overall. I think it retains it much better. I think it does a much better job. So I use those, and I also use mushrooms, which also are in that same category. I won't cook the mushrooms. I will keep them raw into the mixture and cook them when I bake the whole dish. First off, it's a great way to do with, I'm using lower fat meat, but to use lower fat meat and have that sensation of more fat in there, mushrooms are a great addition to the game. And yeah, so I'll use regular tomato, I'll use mushrooms, and then I'll use ketchup for my topping. But this is going in just like this after I clean this up a little bit, prettify it a little bit. Prettify, that's a word, isn't it? Captions doesn't know what prettify is. I have no idea what the word prettify is, if it is actually a word, and please don't hold me to it if it is something disgusting or, on Urban Dictionary. Alright, going into the oven just like that to start. Actually, we're going to crank this oven up a bit here to start too. Oven going up to 400. Meatloaf in the oven. I don't know if I should keep that word in the dictionary. I guess it's not banned on Twitch. Or my bot, or Streamlabs, or Stream Elements. Streamlabs is not a part of this stream. Made the hole too small. Debating, do I remove them from the pan to frost them? I needed to chill this beforehand, but I'm just going to go with it now. And I also needed to put it in like a stand mixer or something and just let it go in order to get properly mixed. Like, see, I'm still getting little bits of cream cheese here and there. Horrible stuff. I'll throw those in the fridge and see if those work out all right. But for proof of concept and let chat know what we're working with here. It's actually a pretty good Halloween color. That's oddly orange. Not a lot of levity to it, but I didn't add any. There was no baking soda or no baking powder in this. So it's just a single egg giving us any levity into this. Can't really tell so much that it's there. I could, I'm certain that I would be able to tell that it's there if it wasn't for the cinnamon and the nutmeg and the clove that's in there. But with the spices in there, I can't tell that it's in there. Aftertaste, maybe a little bit. You can tell a little bit of there's something. You can't really tell that it's tomato even still to me, but there's something there a little bit in the background. We still got some extra frosting to go with our last four, but we'll figure that out some other time here. Well, we'll leave these out. But I'm going to throw this into the refrigerator. That's not what I wanted to do with you, Can Top. I wanted you to delicately balance on top forever. You can certainly tell the color tomatoes there from the color, but no, you wouldn't be able to tell it. You can't really tell it's there from the flavor. That's sort of funny how cakes do that, because that's certainly not the first time that's happened with a cake that I've made on stream where a pretty major ingredient in it just sort of disappears. Like that gluten-free spinach cake that I made ages ago using almond flour. That was a great cake. Like, it turned out bright green. It had a little bit of a nice brown outside to it, but the inside of it was like a bright green. It was nice and airy and light, fluffy as a cake, but still had, little pull. And you could not tell whatsoever that there was spinach in that cake. And it was one of those recipes that was like, there's like three ingredients in this recipe, sort of a thing. Like, it was, I want to say it was like eggs, almond flour, and spinach. Maybe with some vanilla or something like that in there. Like, it was really simple recipe. And same thing as, like, it didn't even have anything to, like it didn't have the cinnamon or nutmeg or clove that are in these cupcakes. It just didn't taste like it whatsoever after it cooked. So we were talking about better than bouillon earlier. Little Worcestershire sauce. Now I know to use this as tomato soup, traditionally you add some water to this. You don't use it as thick as this. But in this case, what I'm using it for, what this is for here, is to go over the top. So I want something thickness consistency of ketchup here, which this is pretty close. So flames back off there. Add in a bit of Tabasco. And we're about 3 minutes ahead of schedule here. Gives me a good time to start my next project here. Trying to get a feel for the base flavor here of the sauce. It's a great way to cut your finger, by the way, Chet. You see how to focus that main camera looks right now? I have that set so autofocus is off today, and it is still off like that. Like, something has changed with the software of these cameras, where I'm not getting nearly the picture that I used to. little Worcestershire. Little horseradish. A little more bouillon. A little bit less that time. Okay, switching back to our meatloaf since our timer went off. Our meatloaf has now had 15 minutes in a questionably 400-degree oven. I would say at least 7 of that was at a 400-degree oven. So we hopefully got a nice little crust going on the top of that over there. And from now, we're going to take the oven temp, drop that back down to 350, which is where I had it set for the cupcakes. And we're going to take this lovely mixture here and just pour this over the top. I'm going to save a little bit of it since we got enough here. Just do a nice coat over the top of this. Get ourselves maybe a little bit of a saucy crust. And back into the oven. Oh, this isn't what I wanted to mix this with. This will work. I still think that needs more alteration. More hot sauce. More Worcestershire. Add a little water to this just to loosen it a little bit. Nope, loosen it some more. Well, it's still maybe a bit too thick. I know what I'm going to add to this. I got more jalapenos, but I'm going to add a little of the jalapeno brine to this. What do other people add to theirs? What do you add to yours? How do you differentiate yours? You add clam juice? Maybe some olive brine? You spray it all over the kitchen like I do? I can honestly say I don't think you're missing much unless you're an absolute fan of tomato juice. Like if you're a tomato juice fanatic, awesome. This is the drink for you. If you're hungover, can't taste anything, and are looking for something that you can actually taste, awesome, have a Bloody Mary. The recipe is essentially tomato juice, vodka, and anything else we can find to not make it taste like tomato juice and vodka. It's a drink, and I'm finishing it with salt and pepper. That should tell you everything you need to know about it. And it's garnished with celery. And honestly, sometimes the celery is the best part. I don't think I need a photo of this one, chap. It will disappear, though. Excuse me for skipping the roughage. saw that one coming. That's a rewrite of the what's with the long face horse joke. You know? That actually isn't bad. It needs to be watered down a bit more. It's a bit thick still. But bonus, or maybe not so much of a bonus, depending on your opinion, it does a great job of absolutely coating the throat. Like, my throat is like coated in tomato sauce, tomato soup. It's slightly spicy right now. Got about another 10 minutes here on these. Or on this meatloaf. Oh, that's what we gotta do. I totally spaced on doing mashed potatoes tonight. Potatoes. And no, that isn't my Lord of the Rings interpretation. Or an impersonation. Yeah, I'm down with that dad joke. That was a winner. Did I? How did I do that? By loafing around? Oh yeah, I remember Jiggly Bunny. It's not really a bunny though, it was more like Jiggly Foam or Jiggly Egg Whites. I'm honestly amazed that I don't forget things more often like this on stream. Because I can't remember nothing. No, unfortunately, I actually had to wear those glasses I wore in junior high and high school and college. I'm very happy to not be wearing them now, but who knows how long it'll be until my eyes just wear out and I need them again. At least hopefully I'll only need like reading glasses. Hopefully only need like reading glasses or something like that. Maybe driving glasses. Because since I had my eyes fixed, technically all I really need to worry about hopefully is the muscles going bad, which they do go bad, which is why people need bifocals, trifocals. Or at least one of the reasons that happens. Glasses forever. I'd like to see your glasses. Like, they some old Egyptian design or something? Breaking the Dark Ages? Oh, I did contacts for quite a while. I sort of got lazy when I got into my 30s and just went back to doing glasses because it was a little bit less hassle in my day-to-day, but I used to have the ones that like suffocated your eyes. Which was great, by the way, for cutting onions. But not for much else. And yeah, they get the dryness, and the dryness also can actually hurt your eyes from your eyes being dry all the time. That is something that I actually worry about now because my eyes are dry all the time. Like, generally either first thing in the morning or late at night. More first thing in the morning, I've got sleep in my eyes and they're sort of like stuck together. Definitely hit them up with some eye drops like first thing in the morning. Like just about every morning these days. Just because I know, like, I was having that issue when I was wearing contacts where I was starving my eyes to the point that my doctor was worried I was going to cause an astigmatism in my eye. I had an astigmatism, but he didn't think it was totally caused by, but anyways. That was back when I had a reliable eye doctor, or a reliable doctor of any form. Okay, that can hang out in there a bit longer, but we're going to turn the oven off. One that you have before you're old enough to realize that they're all doing it for their business, for their job, for their livelihood, and you are much lower on the totem pole in the vast majority of cases. Actually, I should take that. In most cases, the doctors do want to do better. In most cases, the doctors do want to work more. It's just that I see that they're working through the insurance, and insurance allows A or B path from here. We've done all the math, this equation or this equation. Do we have to charge them more or give them expensive prescriptions for the rest of their life? And that's especially true with the insurance that I have now. The insurance that I have now is straight up like assembly line insurance. Like, it at least means that I got to go in and see people. But actually, it's looking like it's even happening with this insurance where, like, I don't know, maybe it's just a seasonal thing where because of CalCare, because of the laws and the insurance system, they all hire on at the beginning of the year and they all quit, as the year goes on. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting at, Buns. There's a lot of doctors out there that I think that would like to be better doctors than they are allowed to be. It's sort of like how corporate life sucks the life out of everything. It doesn't matter whether it's, health insurance, health related, or, weekly TPS report. I've never actually watched Office Space start to finish. I've seen decent amounts of it through either it being on somewhere where I'm at, or, you know, on TV, or I've certainly seen a bunch of the clips on YouTube just on autoplay. Nope. What was the TV series about Portland? That one's one that I should have seen too, and I haven't watched either. That I think is probably in that same vein. Yeah, Rando, it's probably in that book for me too, but I'm not gonna. That's not what I'm. I have a feeling that, yeah, it's gonna be like, yeah, I saw this coming. Oh. We're basically there. Not with Gatorade, but let me put it this way. You can gauge, or rather investors gauge, the U.S. corn and soy outputs based off of nitrogen sales. Nitrogen companies are valued based off of how much natural gas they own / buy / have contracts for. You're doing the math there. Natural gas, direct financial correlation to production of soy and corn. Because what CF Industries does, which is the largest nitrogen producer in the US, is takes natural gas, burns it to create synthetic nitrogen. Then we use synthetic nitrogen so that we can grow the same crops on the same piece of land endlessly over and over and over and over and over until we completely destroy the soil underneath. And that's what we have as far as our monocrop system here in the United States for the primary source of our calories. Like, we haven't even gotten to Indian level, let's grow our corn with beans and low level crops. It's like, which really wasn't, like, we attribute it to Indians in these days in the United States, but I don't know. But yeah, we need to change that. That needs to change if we're going to do anything better in this world. Rotating isn't nearly... Rotating is better, but rotating isn't nearly... Like, we need multi-crop farms now, like yesterday. And it just makes sense. It's harder because we can't have a machine do it, automate it easily, and so it causes more labor. So it costs a lot more. But the idea that you can grow corn stalks and then have the beans grow up the corn stalks rather than putting in stakes in the ground, and then still have a ground cover of some sort that you can harvest. You've got 3 crops in the same amount of land that you had one before. But that's old thing. That's like, that's what the Indians used to do. Like I was taught in school. I doubt that's taught today. But nowadays it would most certainly be Native Americans as well, instead of Indians. But yeah, it's just and we're learning so many interconnections between other things. I know I'm not going to go full pulse stamets on everyone here tonight, but I mean, between fungi networks and plants passing nitrogen between each other, and we just need more than just one plant massively planted at scale. Yep. I would be much happier. Actually, I don't know what the financial difference would be. I should look into the exact financial difference it would be if we got rid of subsidy. The U.S. produces more than enough food that we should not be worried about this in a war sense. At least feeding our own people. Maybe we're worried about it in a food sense and feeding other people to keep control over other people. I don't know. But well, that's the hard part of it too. Like, it's easy for me to sit here and say, we gotta change things now. Like, that's really, I mean, I'm not a farmer. But when it comes to farms too, that's a huge thing too. Like, a lot of these industries essentially just sit there and push farmers into continual debt in order to keep them in control of their company. Like, you have a lot of chicken farmers out there that are going bankrupt because the chicken producers force them to constantly make improvements and changes to their farms. And, so they're constantly taking loans in order to pay that back, because at some point we're going to break even, right? We're not going to keep changing the rules and pulling the rug out from us, right? Mm-hmm. There's also people playing that around too, and the other way around. You have people that want to legitimately be farmers and can't afford the land, and especially out here in like Sonoma, where real estate is ridiculous. It's not as ridiculous as some other places, but it's certainly up there. And so you have rich landlords that want to buy farm properties to turn them into fancy homes to live in, and then they leave like a junky little quarter acre and a camper van for someone to rent out and live on. So that they could legitimately call themselves still a farm. Hi, Pyro. And then once they do that, and then if they're actually successful in growing anything in that lousy little plot, they then go to the farmer's market, and they may make a nice dollar at the farmer's market, especially if they play it up nicely. But at the same time, at the farmer's market, they're going to be right next to another family that has been in the farmer's market for decades and is selling nothing but resold produce, but the market vendors let them stay there because they're constantly on hard times and they need to, when this family isn't, they're not balling, but they're not on hard times. I feel like I missed a bullet there with, like, when I first jumped into the farmers markets in the first couple of years, I was pushing hard trying to make a business that was going to be focused on being a part of the farmers markets. I was actually looking into, how do I get into management of markets and get into them, and realistically, you can't get into it unless you're a legitimate California landowner. Regardless of that, you would want it to be 503c and all that good stuff, but on the very bare bones of it, you have to be a landowner in order to be in control of a farmer's market in California. And so that was out of the question for me for the time. But I'm glad that never happened, now looking back at it, because just the things that went on that I just wouldn't want nothing to do with. Like, there was a lady that twisted her ankle, maybe broke it, I'm not quite sure. Certainly the lawsuit said that she broke it. Farmers markets are both amazing and horrible at the same time. They're mostly horrible because they have such a lack of regulation and they're so loosely operated in many cases. So there's more options for people to scam. But you're not finding the same level of produce, the same products, the same diversity, the same niche items in any store because they'll be like, we don't feel like training our people to know what this is. We don't feel like training our customers. Essentially here in Sonoma County, all you have to do is fill out an online form. Technically, your farm is supposed to be inspected by the county if you're a certain level of a farmer's market vendor. It never really happens. And there are most certainly farms that I know of where they are located that were at farmers markets with full stands, and that looked like a pretty bare field they had. Additionally, there's some vendors in Sonoma County that just do the volumes that they do. There's one vendor that is in almost every farmer's market in the county and is selling tomatoes like mad. has gotten tons of press for his operation, most certainly has a very successful farm. I'm not saying the man isn't a farmer, but the amount of produce that he is selling versus the land and location that he has just does not compute. So, I mean, I don't know if I really trust any of them these days. I want to see them showing me what they're growing for me to trust them that they're actually growing it. Yeah. The next level of trucking it up from his family in Mexico. I didn't say that. I didn't say what farm it was either. I was... But yeah. It certainly was a fun experience working in the farmers markets for several years. But I learned more than I think I wanted to doing so. How are we not boiling yet? Okay, we were at a boil, but I turned it down enough that... We're just waiting a little bit on these potatoes. Do you make bacon in the oven or the stovetop? It depends on what I'm using it for, but majority of the time I'm going to do it in the oven just because flat, crispy bacon, evenly cooked. If I'm just doing a couple of slices, if I'm going for chewy bacon, those are both good cases for doing it on the stovetop. That's why I closed my bedroom door. I have successfully made it, what, almost 2 years now? Has it been 2 years now, chat? Without my smoke alarm going off? I think it's been since I got Mr. Wiggles that I've gone without my fire alarm going off. I did set it off the other day off stream, but you didn't see that. Thank you, Buns. The other thing is usually the fan systems, the ducting that they do in homes. A lot of the times it's more for show than functionality. A lot of the times the fans that they have for these things are junk, or they don't actually root them out of the house or anything, you know, like I've certainly heard, and I don't know if I've seen, but I've certainly heard of homes with the ducting just going into the attic, or like it's not actually venting. Or you don't have enough airflow in the house itself too. Like my bathroom, I gotta leave my bathroom door open like a crack if I use the fan, because it suffocates the fan otherwise. Because the door creates too much of the door blocks too much of the airflow. The fan then creates a vacuum in my small bathroom. So it makes the fan go bad because it's trying to create a vacuum instead of working like a fan. It certainly tries, Buns. Now see, if I owned this house a long time ago, I would have just pulled that door off of the hinges and cut a couple inches off of the bottom of it and went about my life, but I don't own it, and so I get to play games with the door. But I can easily see that scenario I was put. I didn't even finish what I was trying to say there. That scenario of the fan turning into a vacuum that I got going in my bathroom, I can certainly see that happening in a house. If you got especially you're going on high, you're trying to get rid of that smoke. Yeah, you got to open some windows and open some doors. I do pyro. That is something that I've invested in. Because, well, if only because I have at times let stock run overnight. And you don't want a small flame running without a CO2 meter to... Yeah, it's greater and greater. Like, I think modern stuff for renting here, this was a new rental for someone, they would have to have them built in. Oh, safety-wise, most certainly. But that's more, like, all of those devices are things that, like, it's quite fascinating. Like, you know, the smoke alarms, and, like, I assume the CO2 stuff is much similar, where you actually have a nuclear detector determining, you know, if there's smoke. Like, I don't think they do it I think they've refined it even further these days. But, like, the old school commercial fire smoke detectors, you could break them apart and you can get, like, actual radioactive substance out of them, like americium and stuff like that. There was the reason that I know this is because I know of the radioactive Boy Scout who was a kid who, well, I guess he was doing this, he wasn't quite all there, I don't think. But as a kid, was tearing apart them and actually had created a reactor in his parents' shed, in his mom's shed, and has created a Superfund cleanup site from just But like he got into trouble for that, went to jail, got out of jail, and then got back into trouble doing stuff with something nuclear and ended up killing himself. They think likely from radiation exposure. Yeah, shocker. You pull apart things with only a minor knowledge in how it works, most likely. I mean, we're talking, he could have been an amazing all-star person, who knows, but from the sounds of it, he was not brilliant. Alright, so I think we're probably getting close here. I think we might be able to call this here tonight. Let's see here. Let's make ourselves some mashed potatoes, chap. We need some melted butter and half and half. We don't need bugs around here. I left my doors open for too long today. I must have gotten all the bugs in today. Yes. Bunch of info down below about me section. Down somewhere over there maybe. Who is this guy? Now, the truth was I had a bunch of things that weren't necessarily for tonight's dinner, but I did a bunch of pantry shopping tonight. And so, not necessarily so much pantry, but I had to buy a bunch of more bulky things, like I was out of butter, I was out of eggs, and so yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, the bugs. And so I had quite a bit to carry in when I was coming in from the store earlier today. And I was being sort of lazy about closing my door. I was like, yeah, I'll just leave it open and walk a second trip to the door, to the truck. You can see how that worked out for me. And that wasn't fully what I wanted to do with that. I wanted to add some half and half to that before I heated that up. Drain the water off of our taters. Nope, that needs another 10 seconds or so. Am I alone in this chat? Does anyone else out there time your microwave in 10-second increments? Because if you do less than 10 seconds, the turntable makes it end up at the other end of the microwave, and so you actually have to reach in. Just me, I guess, huh? I mean, maybe it's just my microwave, you know, it's a solid 10-second turn to its turntable. Air fryers are the new ovens. Literally. More salt. More salt. Debating if that was enough butter and cream from how thick or thin these are. It's sort of. I'm tempted to add more, but I'm going to live with that. Hopefully live longer with that too. I use my own concoction of salt. I like real salt. It's an actual brand, Real Salt. It's a U.S. brand. Redmond Real Salt. At the same time, this is incredibly way too expensive to use for salt on a normal basis. And so I use a combination of real salt, but I cut it with other kosher salt. Were those just unpeeled gold potatoes? Those were unpeeled small or almost baby gold potatoes that I chopped up so that the peels are in there, but they're not big in any sense. And half and half butter, salt, pepper, MSG. Otherwise, yeah, that's all you got there. Just delicious. All right, let's take a look at this meatloaf. I would, it depends. Find yourself some nice creamy yellow golds. I have been finding very mixed results with gold potatoes lately as for what you're actually getting. And so just keep that in mind. But you get some nice gold creamy potatoes along the lines of, like, I'm basically using these in the place of Yukon Golds. But you see plays even off of the name Yukon Gold now that are most certainly not Yukon Gold variety potatoes. Let's fix my earbuds here now that Microsoft has messed up my earbuds again. Okay. So there's our meatloaf. Let's give the photo and then we'll slice this up. What are you doing? No. My phone's trying to play my Twitch stream. Not very often. Microgreens are just they're just sprouts. They're just baby plants. It's one of those jobs that people like to jump in thinking they're going to make a ton of money because they sell like crazy and they're hugely expensive. But people don't realize the input, like they're sprouts. They're good for like a day or two before you can't sell them anymore. Like you can't keep them around anymore. So you see a lot of sprout vendors show up at the farmers markets for like 1 year. More often than microgreens, or I'll more often use sprouts, and actually more specifically, I'll more often use radish sprouts. Sunflower sprouts are great too, but they're not really. They have certain uses that I think are great, and the rest of the time, it's sort of like, we added sprouts. But I really like radish sprouts because they can really have a kick to them. They can be actually quite spicy. Like, they're not going to be, hot pepper spicy, but they'll be with light level wasabi spicy. I think most current lab-grown beef companies or alternative meat companies are in no way beneficial to the environment in current day. And I think the vast majority of them are just faking it to make it, hoping to be branded the first in the industry. Like, some of the stuff they're touting sounds amazing. And science-wise, some of it actually makes sense that we can do one day. Whether any of these ideas actually make fiscal sense, whether they'll actually ever make money doing them, and how long it's going to take them to actually be an environmental benefit, are completely, like, they are not a part of the question right now. I'm not against veggie. It's not for me. I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, and that's not to say that there's wonderful alternative meats that don't contain heme or one of these bioreactor products, or I don't know why the music stopped again. So a lot of them are making claims that aren't even close to true, John. Like the one of the ones that sticks up in my mind was a Bloomberg article. One of the Bloomberg video people was looking into a Texas company that is looking to use bioreactors. Bioreactors, fancy term. Basically, it's a brewing station for bacteria, but specific bacteria, you know. Yeah, and they're hoping to use that with genetically modified bacteria, algae, what have you, and they're going to collect carbon out of the air and turn that carbon that they pull out of the air. Let's exclude the fact that you can't even pull carbon out of air yet in the way that they want to. But if they could, they want to take that, mix it with genetically spliced animals, and then use that to create artificial proteins. All possible, all potentially possible. Whether that's ever going to make any financial sense over just feeding a cow, yeah, it has to make commercial, is the major thing that has to make commercial sense. I mean, I think we all realize that we have the technology in order to grab a bunch of plastic out in the ocean and turn it into other plastic products. That's possible. That's more than possible. It's the fact that you can make new, pretty clean plastic for a heck of a lot less than it costs for you to pay for a trawler to go out there and pick up the plastic, melt it down, and create recycled plastic. It's all about the money. But I am thinking I would like to go and enjoy this meatloaf dish before it all goes cold. Would like to sincerely thank everyone for joining in with me tonight, hanging out, listening to me while I ramble about plastics and other things that have nothing to do with food. But I do believe that is where I am going to call it. We'll be back here on Friday We're going to be doing dishes the next 3 nights here, the next 3 streams, using roux in some form. So we're going to have to make roux-based dishes. That is my challenge, my task for the next week. So we're going to be brewing food next week. I hope you come to join me for those. We'll get a new vote going up in the Discord here soon for next week's ingredient challenge. Could very much use people voting in the suggestions, making suggestions. We need more suggestions. We need more votes for suggestions, not just the weekly vote. Thank you all for joining in tonight. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Good night.